Hey guys, I am Charlotte.
And I am EJ. And this is DFW
Entrepreneur
Entrepreneur
News.
News.
Hey guys, we have a special treat for you guys today because we have a guest we're going to be interviewing who's going to be shaking up some things in Dallas, Texas with her Dear Sis Just Breathe event that's going to be coming up here in August 30th in Dallas, Texas. I'm sorry, August 29th in Dallas, Texas. So she'll tell you more about that. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring this young lady to the stage so she can introduce herself.
Bring it on in. I know we like to share amazing people with y'all. So once again.
Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi, Dallas. How are y'all?
We are phenomenal. Let us know who you are, where you calling in from, and we're not calling in. Let us know who you are, where you from, and what you got going on.
Okay, well, my name is Sekhmet L, and I go by the Soul Conscious Coach, and I specialize in helping Afro-Indigenous women to reclaim their sacred femininity. I am right now calling from Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm looking to relocate my holistic services in Dallas very soon. And as an introduction, I'm going to be hosting a womb-based meditation and self-care kickback entitled Dear Sis, Just Breathe on the 29th at the South Dallas Park Innovation Center. So that's
okay. Look. Congrats. Thank you for bringing it
Thank
here.
You.
For the audience and for myself, because I'm asking, you talked about womb release, just the name. You said a lot that I want to dive into more of who you are and what are you bringing to the women, right? I'm assuming this is for women or women and men?
Yes, for women.
Okay. So what is the womb? We're talking about the womb and the womb release. I know you did something on womb release. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I am in the energetic alternative healing space. And one of the things that is particularly trending in Black culture, Indigenous culture, is the womb care or the womb story. And so essentially what I do as a soul coach, as someone who has spiritual gifts, I help women to elevate through emotional release of their womb story. So your womb story is the journey that made you a woman, right? It is specific to the woman. It is specific to the womb, the emotions that we acquire, and all the damage that goes on with that holistically. And so it is my job and it's my love to be able to help women release a lot of those, cavities in their lives. I know for me, my journey started with my own womb story with my mother. So mine is based in my mom, and just the separation of that journey I had to take by myself. And so it just leads into many different things. I assist women that have had forced endings to their pregnancy. I assist women that have gone through sexual assault, women that don't even have high self-esteem. I used to be a plus size model, and so I incorporate the things that I learned in that industry and bring it into the industry of service. And I love to see Black women empowered from the inside out, and I just dialogue that way.
Oh, really?
That was a lot. Sorry.
No,
that wasn't.
I think
it was a lot like this. Not a lot like this, so that means we needed that. You heard me?
Yeah, and just for understanding of what it is and what it all entails. It because I be so curious of why isn't it called head care or heart care, but it's called womb care. So I'm assuming they say, from my limited perspective, you the expert, but trauma is stored in our womb or our hip areas.
Trauma for the womb. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, do you think that, okay, how do you know if you have this trauma, or how do a woman know that if they should be at this event? How would they know? Just any type of trauma or all trauma?
Okay, so this particular event is not fashioned for trauma. However, I do trauma meditations. A woman would know that she has a stored up trauma in her body because basically she's looking to understand why can't she do a certain thing? What is the certain hurdle? She could be successful. I have a lot of 6-7 figure earners who are, high value, highly productive. However, they're wondering why their relationships aren't working. They're wondering why, them being overperformers still isn't good enough to suffice the little girl in them that was invisible in her childhood and, couldn't get her story across, and, why she may have money issues or obstacles. There becomes a deficit in the holistic abundance in your life, and you're trying to figure it out. And so if you decide that therapy is not the route, if you tried medical intervention and you're like, something still is wrong, I can tell you that is usually a spiritual interference. And then
Exactly.
God will put you in a path with someone like me. And we already gone through that journey. You know what I mean? I've graduated through all of the darkness that comes with being a woman. And so it is my job, my duty to help bring you into the light. And you make the decision to shed that story in partnership for a new one. But it takes work. We call it shadow work. That introspection that is so nasty, so murky, that you really don't want to do it alone. You can't do it with anybody else, but you need to be delivered from whatever the generational stories are, whatever the story is that you keep repeating and ruminating. You need to let it go. I help you birth it.
Clarity.
Hey,
Clarity.
Hey, you made me wish I had a womb, but I think I'm gonna let wait the next lifetime for that one. I don't know.
I guess.
But no, I love it because like one thing I've learned thus far on my earthly journey is a lot of what we're trying to figure out is actually spiritual.
It is.
And once we reach that certain point we're striving for, or our higher selves, it is a lot dealing with traumas, limiting beliefs, things that we don't know. And like she said, usually when there's a block or that's usually what it is. Like 9.5 times out of 10. So love it.
This is really like my ministry, to be honest.
Buy me a womb and sneak up in one of your sessions or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and you know what? It varies, right? So you can do like I'm attuned in Reiki, which is hand energy healing, which in the church we called it laying on of hands, but it is a Japanese practice to help.
Well, hey, now in the hood, laying them hands means something else.
Not that I'll catch the case. I don't want to do that. But then we do yoni steams as well, which I don't know if you are familiar with that. When women come in, they sit on herbal hydration. So it's herbs cooking in boiling water, and you sit over it. And based off of the concoction of the herbs, it is helping to remedy whatever your issues are. So if you have an issue with infertility, or you have fibroids, or you just want to increase your sensual stamina, there are certain herbs that you can partner together and release that into your womb space and begin to, feel womanly and feminine.
All right.
Yeah.
This is so good. And I think one of the first things you said, now in this day of time, people are more in tune with their bodies, more in tune with their health, more so in tune with not what the church says, more so in tune with not what the internet says, but more in tune with themselves. So this seems like that is what it is, bringing the conscious awareness of self. Yeah. Am I correct?
Yes. So I think that, and I'm not going to go too far into this because I'm not a church basher, right? But I grew up in the church and I'm a PK. And so growing up, especially in the 80s, in a very, Pentecostal church, we as women didn't have a lot of outlets to be able to express ourselves. And being Black women in the medical field, it's hard for us to find advocates or advocacy for us to be able to say this is what's going on. However, there's always been a sect of women who have always taken natural cures to be able to cure the body, to heal the body. And so now women want that autonomy. Women want the sovereignty to say, this is what's going on. How can you assist me? I don't want to have, all this pharmaceutical backup in me. I don't want my hormones disrupted. What can I do to get back to nature? Essentially is the woman saying, what can I do to get back to God? Right. And no matter where you go, we are told that God is a spirit, and we are taught biblically that God, the Ruach, is the breath of God, the presence of God. So when we're saying holistic measures, we're saying we want you to get back into God. And people are finding that calling that has been completely obliterated from us in Western culture, and using indigenous practices to say, here I am, come back home. And so that's what women are doing. They're coming back home to their wombs. They're coming back home to God. They're coming back to what nature intended us to be as reproducers of life in all forms of continuity.
Sounds great. EJ is so funny.
I love it.
Um,
Hey, I'm
so
hearing everything, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
yes. I think our audience is enjoying the information. I am as well. I know you're a coach, so I was
Mhm.
wondering, how do you shift? So, people will be like, oh, 2025, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then 2025 happens and we can see, hey, this ain't done or that ain't done, or it's done.
Mhm.
But I need to pivot again. What have you done this year that has shifted you into the direction you wanted to go in?
That's a great question, Charlotte. I think for me, and talking about all this like healing work, one of the things that again led to this journey for me was my inner child was suffering, like screaming from the bellows of hell, it seems like. But I decided opportunities of serendipitous opportunities were just happening. I decided to take them as opposed to saying, I can't do this, or, how would that look like fitting in my life, or that's too childish or immature. My youthful side wanted to come out, which let me know that I have done the work enough to free her. But I'm just taking opportunities to just try something. Like, I'm an overthinker. My nervous system is typically overactive, but my inner child is like, we are finally free. Let's enjoy life. And so that's something personally that I'm doing. Like, if I want to go to a festival by myself, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm going. You know what I mean? I went overseas for the first time. I was very, very scared, but that opened up just spiritual doors for me and more opportunities. So I just invite, especially Black culture, to get back in tune with their inner child. And a lot of us shun that because a lot of us have had traumatic childhoods. And even if you haven't had a direct dysfunction, where your life was directly messed up, somebody in close proximity where their childhood is completely disfigured and now their adulthood is just in shambles and they're going to die that way. So I'm inviting people to say, what is the one thing that your childhood self wanted to do? Is it go to the museum? Is it go to see a play and Black kids don't go see plays? Is it go try caviar? Is it go to a rock concert? What is it that you always wanted to do where you felt like that would illuminate my soul? That's what you do to get back in contact with your destiny.
Look, guys, we are illuminating our souls.
Yes.
I felt that. So when you said play, just so happy you said play. I know you could have said any other thing, but I saw my first play last December. So 2024, I never seen a play, and I saw my first play, and I felt like, wow, I've been missing out. I knew someone that was in the play, so like you said, those things I can resonate with that because you don't you're supposed to be serious because life is serious. You got these bills, you got these kids, and you got to raise them to be adults, right?
Yeah.
And that's serious. That's a serious task, responsibility. But what about the joy, the happiness? What is that joy? Of course, it's a joy raising kids. It is. But what is that joy and that happiness for just you alone? Like, where do you find that at? And a lot of mine is in my work. But what else is there, Charlotte, besides work? Because I love and I enjoy putting people on platforms and promoting them and things of that nature. But what else? That's what I've been finding out this year. What else? And so you're speaking on that, like there's something else that brings that excitement, that illumination. EJ, is there something that brings you illumination?
Well, hearing conversations like this, it illuminates me. But no, Yeah, of course. I mean, and that's what we're here to find, people. Like she say, a lot of that childhood that we're seeking is the return to what we're supposed to be, to what we were before we got programmed and, attached to all of these beliefs that were given to us. So, I love that. When she say inner child, I just heard that as, it's enjoyment in it, but it's a lot of detachment.
Yes.
And that detachment, puts us where we're trying to get. So, you know me, Charlotte. Talking to amazing people illuminates me, and that's what we do here on DFW Entrepreneur News. It's a shameless plug. Hey, hey, if you are an entrepreneur out here in the DFW area or around the world, we would like to introduce you to our people. We're intentional about bringing on great, amazing people that are in the DFW area, and that opens up the gate for me to ask, what made you want to bring this greatness to the DFW area? We heard you're in Atlanta.
I know. So
how this happened?
The short answer,
Give us the
I don't
media.
know. It was like a year and a half ago. I was trying to get to the Dallas Fair, the fair.
Yeah.
That you guys have every year.
The big tech. You want to come bring big tech some money, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to get there. And literally, I kid you not, I couldn't even make it. First of all, it was way too hot. I had a different kind of wig. I was not cultured for that environment. Okay. So I was having asthma attacks back and forth, and I was like, I didn't even get to enjoy the city. I kid you not. I drove back to Atlanta, and I heard the Holy Spirit say, that's where you're moving next. And I was like, I don't know anything about Texas. So long story short, I've been back and forth like 3 times in the past year. And I was like, well, let me just decide if I can put a filler out there. So that's really what it was. I'm half obedient, half curious, half like delusional. Those 3 halves.
That's what they call it. That's what they tell us it is.
That's what they say.
Yeah, so, you're listening.
Yeah.
Period.
I hope the right way. We'll see shortly.
Well, okay. Well, I love that, and we are glad to have you in the old DFW area, coming from Atlanta. How long you been out that way in Atlanta? I'm just curious.
Ooh, I've been here almost 20 years.
Because me and Charlotte coming that way, so
Oh, when?
I don't know if you're gonna be here or we gonna be there.
When?
We're looking at the spring.
Yeah.
Well, I'll come back with you all. I don't know if I'll still be here, but I've been here 20 years from, I'm a city girl transplant, and it's time to go.
Hey, we'll take it.
Time to go.
It's exciting. So we talked about inner childhood. So like for the people that's listening, how could someone tap into their childhood?
Oh my gosh. That's a little bit of an abstract question to ask me because I'm quite the unicorn. Okay. I'm very much a wild child. But I would say that, I know this sounds funny, but I always say try eating your favorite childhood cereal. Hey. And the reason why I say that is because, like you were saying, Charlotte, we get older, we get sophisticated. Everybody has bagels, lockers, oatmeal, ICI bowls. But sometimes it's that going back to Frosted Flakes that weren't the Frosted Flake brand. You know what I mean? Look. But it's like going back to that memory when you were sitting down, watching cartoons, you were with your family, and you were just like in this whirlwind of anything can happen. And so sometimes I just encourage you to meditate over that bowl of cereal. Seriously, be intuitive with your eating and how you are receiving the information, because it's going to awaken your eugenics. It's going to awaken your cellular construct, and you're going to be connected like, I remember when. And then you follow that. You don't close it down. You allow yourself to be around people, community that are free and liberated. You allow yourself to be around people and environments that do not put a block on who you are. So many times we force ourselves to be around people so they can perceive us to be mature or business minded. People are actually becoming more attracted to me because I'm letting loose. So yes, I do eat a lot of cereal these days. You know what I mean? And I do go out into the grass with no shoes on. I say what's on my mind. And most importantly, I say what's from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your childhood lives. Speak what's on your heart instead of trying to think about what someone else is going to say. If you say it this way, or just say it. Be
Mm-hmm.
kind, but say what's on your heart, and you start to break open those levels.
Again, you hit it on point, but I have help with mine. EJ, I think he's that free